Hi, it's Cindy Fodor with Stamp the Love, and I am excited to invite you today. Have a really fun project, but I'm really scared. I've only made one. I designed it 2 nights ago, something like that, and maybe three. I'm not sure when it was. Yeah, I think it was Saturday I finished it. And anyways, I'm just dying to show it to you guys. So it should be for my Thursday um, technique video, but I can't wait to show it to you. So I'm going to do that today. So today's project is a triple, what's it called? A triple cube card or something. And I've seen a lot of people do them. And I've been working on a class for Scrapbook Weekend called Fun Folds. And I thought, well, this would be sort of a fun fold, but I can't say I saw a ton of them that I liked. So I took the idea and sort of adjusted it and added a lot of stuff. So hopefully my video won't be an hour long today. I probably am not going to complete all the coloring that on the little individual things just for time's sake. I'll come back and do those later, but I want to give you the basics so that you can take it and possibly run with it and try it yourself. So I will be doing a blog post, and I actually have a tutorial finished, so I'll post that as well. It probably won't get done right away just because I have class tonight and tomorrow here at my house, and my house is a wreck because I've been prepping for Scrapbook Weekend for several weeks now. So I just have to get all that stuff packed up and put away so I can drag it back out later. All right, guys, I'm going to get started, and I hope that it's something that you will enjoy. Let me turn the light on and get over to my camera screen. All right, so first I'll show it to you. This is the outside of the card, and this will require a special envelope because it's a square card. I haven't worked on that yet, but I just did a belly band that slides off. And then these first two flaps come down. If you've seen a cube card, you know what that looks like. And then this actually folds out like that so that you've got this cute little cube going on. Now, here's the things that I added to it. So I have these cute little critters who are playing in the snow. Let me just turn those up here so you can see. And they just have to get fluffed up. They're just on little standy things. And so when you open it, you have to fluff it up. Hi, Sylvia. Hi, Carolyn. And then these are, this is just a little, I'll explain that to you when we get there, but I did two of those. And then I did one more thing with this. I turned it into a slider card as well, because each of these cubes had to have a purpose. And this purpose had to be more than just to stand the card up. So back here, I did a little slider. So you just pull that up and then it slides back down in. So that's my little slider. So there's the actual whole scene of a card. So hopefully you like that and you don't leave me because you're totally overwhelmed. It really doesn't take a lot of stuff. It's surprising. Now, when you fold it back up, you do have to tuck everything back down so that it all tucks down. So what I usually do first is if I fold this flat, then I can take and I can fold each of these things down and fold that back flat. So anyways, I think it's fun. I hope that you will think so as well. So let me get started with the supplies that you're going to need. All right, so I have, first of all, I'm using Sahara Sand, and I'm using the Heartwarming Hugs designer paper. And I'm using Sahara Sand, and I just want to tell you that it takes one large piece and two shorter pieces. I'll give you the measurements in a second. But these two pieces make one sheet of cardstock. So I usually do my scoring all first. Of course, I was cutting out for 10 of them for my class. So I scored everything and then did the cutting. Excuse me. All right, so this first piece is 5¼ inches wide, and it's 11 inches long. And then these two pieces are just 2 9/16 by 11, and they're of course scored the same. These are, so what you'll do is you'll start, let's say we were starting at this side, and I'm just going to grab my scoring tool, even though I have them scored already, so that you can see exactly how I did it. So I started here, and the first measurement is 2 5/8, so that's 1 notch past 2½. The second one is 5 1/4. The third one is 7 7/8, and the fourth one is 10 1/2. Okay, so that's both of those. Whoops, I have more than 2. Okay, that was somebody else's. All right, so that's done. I'm going to go ahead and score while I have the scoring tool out here. These little standy up things here, I'm going to go ahead and explain those and score those for you. So I have 4 pieces, whoops, and some snowballs. They are 3/4 inch by 3½ inches. And I just scored those every 3/4 inch. And let's see, and then 3. Just so that you've got 4 equal parts, and then you have a little flap. So now these were scraps, so I didn't score those ahead of time. However, if you're cutting from a regular piece of paper, trust me, it's going to be a whole lot easier to score everything in one piece. And then one more. 3/4, 1 1/2, 2 1/4, and 3. Okay, I think that's all the scoring I need to do, so I'm going to set that back. All right, so let's go ahead and put these pieces together. Actually, yeah, let's just, I don't want to put this one together because we're going to put the slider together. I put that together. I added that after I had the card completed, and it was a lot of work trying to figure that out up in the air in a box. So I'm going to go ahead and just put these these little ones together for you. So I would recommend that you just burnish the edges, the scoring lines, as you fold them. And let's go ahead and do this one. All right. Yeah, what else do you have to do on a sort of a yucky rainy day? I know we need the rain, so I'm not complaining, but sometimes you have to do something fun just to take away the sort of rainy blues. We'll go ahead and score this one. Work on this one, and I just need to take a look at my piece here and make sure that I'm doing this right. So this is the piece we're going to put the slider on. All right. So to do that part, if you want to add that to your card, I recommend that you have some self-healing mat and a blade, a craft blade. And I'm going to just lay this one here, and I should have a straight edge, which I do not, so I'm going to use my block. And I just sort of eyeballed where I wanted my cut. Actually, I do want it to go through the designer paper. However, I need this designer paper to cover my flap, okay? That's going to be just a little tricky, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tack this down here on this side, and then I can glue this side down later. So I'm going to just go ahead and stick that on there. This is going to create the back of your chimney, and I'm calling it a chimney. I know that's not what they call it, but on my card it's a chimney because he's sort of coming up and sledding out of the chimney, okay? And because I used brick on the background, I used In Good Taste designer paper for some of this, and then the Heartwarming Hugs for the rest. This is from this gray piece. It looks like a piece of vinyl or something. So that was from the same pack as the bricks. All right. So you can see my joint here. Maybe you can see it. but the joint is right here. So that's what I'm creating here, but I don't want to tack that down because I want that to be covered. All right, so now I'm ready to just, I'm going to try to make a track that's maybe, I would say it's less than 3/8 of an inch wide. I just need it wide enough to stick a baby dimensional in, which I totally forgot to bring in here. So I'm going to have to grab that, but so I'm just going to try to line this up straight here and just create a cut down through here. And let me see how far I went down. I can't remember. Yeah, I went down past the designer paper. I wanted him to be hidden before it was his time to come up. And so, and now I'm just going to go over here about a quarter, maybe slightly more than a quarter of an inch. And I'm pushing really hard because I want to get through both of those pieces of paper. And this doesn't have to look perfect. You're really not going to see much of this. Okay, and I'm just going to cut that out at the top here. Let's see if we got everything. It looks like that is a little tight there. Oops, almost got away with the knife. I know a lot of people don't like using these craft knives because they're very sharp and they're very, you really have got to have some control with that. So possibly if you don't want to use that, you could use, you could just make the mark and come in with your scissors after you get it started and cut that way. Or you could put it on your your trimmer and just cut those particular parts. Now, my strip that I cut to go behind here, I might have cut this just a hair wide. So hopefully that will stay in the track. All right, so I am missing, like I said, I need baby dimensionals, but let me show you the little guy that I'm just going to slightly tack him on because I'm going to have to pull him off and color him because I can't have an uncolored card. But I don't want to take the time to do that today because there's too much else going on in this card to add coloring to that. So I have this other piece. This is, let me just see on my notes here. This piece is about 4 1/4 by 3/8 of an inch. So it's just, actually, it's a little too long. It needs to be about 4 inches because I just want it to sort of fit in behind here. It needs to just hide this little pull thing and keep it in place. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I do want to just tack this down so it's not flapping and causing issues. And then I can come in later and tuck it into the side there. Now I've got adhesive in here. Okay. Because you don't want to give any reason for it to catch and not work properly, especially when you're on camera. All right, so this is my little piece that's going to go in here. So I sort of tried to decide where I want him to go and how far I want him to come up. All right. And of course you want this to stay in place, and I have to attach him to this strip. If you can understand that, he has to move along with the strip as the strip goes up and down. Now I will tell you that this paper is really not heavy enough to keep this from bending as you're shoving it up and down. This should be a little better than the one I created before because, like I said, I was creating it after the fact and putting everything together. And but anyways, so I added a piece of window sheet to the back of this. I just glue dotted it on here, and that gave this strip a little more strength. And you could just use a window strip if you want to, but I wanted something that was going to be visible so that I could put pool on it or something so that I could let the recipient of this card know that they needed to do something with the card to make it work. So all right, so I am ready to put this in place, and I will glue the plastic on later. So I want him to, oh, I forgot. He needs to sit on snow. He's sledding on snow. I almost forgot that part. So let me just glue him on here. And then I'll put him on the snow drift. Okay, that's the whole piece now that's going to go. Notice I made it narrow enough so that it fits inside of that. And so now we're ready. All right, so I'm going to use a baby, actually, I'm going to use a couple dimensionals, and they're going to fit right in this track. I'm going to go ahead and stick one at the bottom, and I'm turning them so that, well, I'm trying to turn them so that the straight edge is along the side and not the diagonal line. And I think I can go ahead and put 3 of these on here. I should have used my take your pick tool to get them in place. Okay. All right, so I will take those off of there. They'll take the covers off. And then I'm ready to, let's see, that's going to be as far as it can go down, because you see the dimensionals are hitting the bottom of that slot. Okay, so I can go ahead and pop him right in the middle there. Okay, so now I should be able to pull him up. He doesn't go up as far as I want him to. I might remove one of those dimensionals because that's what's keeping it. I don't know. It's not terrible. Oh well, I'll leave it for now. I can decide later if I want to do that. All right, so now what I want to do, I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to put, I'm doing this totally backwards, of course, like I said, from the one that I created earlier, so I do have to think through it just a little bit as I go. And actually, I'm going to put them on here because I can see where they're going. This is the window sheet, and I'm just putting some glue dots on here. Well, I'm trying to put some glue dots on here. They don't want to stick to the window sheet terribly well. Alright. And now I'm going to just apply that to the back of this. And then I'm going to, oh, there's another one. That's okay, we'll use that one. Now I'm going to just fold this tab down. I'm going to pull him out the whole way there. Actually, I want to put him down the whole way. I want to make sure the tab is sticking up whenever it's inside. Okay, so I just folded that down on itself and put it on the other glue dot. Okay, now I'm ready to put this piece on, and this is just a track for it to run in. So I'm going to go ahead. I did use adhesive. I did not pop it up. You could pop it up. However, the dimensionals are really inside of here. They're really running on the inside, so I didn't feel that I needed to do that. Of course, I'm leaving the top open because I don't want that to stick. And then I'm just centering this on the back of my card. Okay, so now we have our little pool thingy, and my computer went to sleep on me. There we go. Okay, he's done. Let's go ahead and glue this together now. And this, I'm using Stampin' Seal Plus because it's a very heavy-duty adhesive. Before I put this together, I might as well stick my other piece on here because that will certainly be easier than trying to tuck it down inside. Okay. Now I just need to tuck that inside of there, and then I'm just going to lay this flat and press on that. Okay, because it's a box, you can just lay it flat and put it on top of itself. And then I don't think I even need to add adhesive in here. I might need to just at the top there, just so that doesn't pull up. I'll use this. There we go. Okay, so the inside of that is finished. Yay, that went okay, other than forgetting the dimensionals. All right, let's go ahead and do these boxes. And I ran that off the edge a little. All right, do this the same way. Just lay them flat. I'm just gluing the little leftover flap here. And hey guys, welcome. Is everybody still with me, or have I lost you? I hope that, I hope this is starting to make sense. So we've got our 3 boxes now. Now, this is going to lay flat. This is going to be the laying flat part. So these little boxes are going to go, let me just see where my, I forget where I put the crease. I think I put it back in the corner. Oh, I put it up at the top. So they're going to lay on here like this. And then they are going to go flat like that. Okay? So really, so far, not so hard, right? Other than the little slider part. So far, so good. All right, let's go ahead and start decorating them. You can either decorate them first or decorate them after. I'm thinking I might just glue them on. So you're just going to glue one block, just the one block that's going to go at the very bottom. So you can see it fits right inside of there. You want it right lined up with the base of your I want to call it the chimney part, okay, because mine's a chimney. And then this is the piece I want to glue here. And you see I'm using plenty of glue for this. This is a movable card. You want to make sure that everything is glued in place and isn't going to come apart as everybody is moving it. Okay, so here we go. There's our card. Okay, now let's decorate it. I'm going to try to work really fast on that so that I can get to the really cute parts. You need six pieces because we're going to color this piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece. But when this is folded up, you also have to decorate this piece. So let's go ahead and do those. I cut these at, these are 2 1/8 by 2 1/8, and then the cardstock is 2 3/8, just to give a little bit of color behind it. Okay. And you don't have to mat them. You can make it much simpler. You'll see the other pieces I don't mat, and they're perfectly cute. But I really wanted some red and green to make this very, very festive and really make it stand out. Just depends what paper you're using. You might not need to do that. Ugh, got that a little crooked. I guess I turned it over so I couldn't look at it. All right, guys, getting there. I'm always afraid I'm going to put adhesive on the wrong side of this because when you're rushing, sometimes you tend to do that. I don't know if anybody else has ever done that. I bet you have. And the last one. So that should be 6 of those. So let's go ahead and tack those on. Now this I don't need a ton of glue because this isn't movable. This isn't a movable part. This is so much easier to do once you've done one of them because then you know exactly what where it goes and how many you need and all of that. The first one, of course, I had the basic design from another demonstrator, and one of my teammates, Jody, had done one, and I think she got her information from the same lady. So I think we paid for a tutorial from her. It was only $1. It wasn't bad, but it gave some basic dimensions so that I could easily do it. So I am going to share that with you guys. I made my own tutorial. I will post that. I said in the beginning, I will post that on my blog once I have time to do that. It won't be right away this week because I have classes. This is my class week, so just a little busy and stressful. Okay, so there's the 6 of those. Now, these are the top parts. So I'm basically putting what looks like maybe vinyl on here. I could have put snow paper on here since it's a snow scene, but I wanted to use stuff from, I had a lot of paper from this In Good Taste because I love so many pieces of it, and it comes with a lot of paper. And so I think, let's see, yeah, these go on the bottom here yet. So we're going to do an inside piece. So this goes down in here. And again, if you knew what you were putting together, it would have been easier to stick this in on first before you glued your cubes together. And when I teach the class, I might have the ladies do that first, because I will know a little bit more from doing 2 of these. All right, so now these go on the back of this so that it looks, again, it continues the pattern from the chimney. And it looks like maybe my mantle place or something. It's really tricky to get stuff in here, and you'll see it when I go to use the other little pieces. I'm going to go ahead and press down on those. Okay. All right, we have all the base work done. That's the boring stuff. Okay. I think that's the boring stuff. So let's do the fun stuff. The fun stuff is with all of our little creatures, and I hope I have all of them here. Let me show you what I did. I am missing one. I am missing the cute penguin. Oh well, I'll show you the rest. For the penguin, I put him on a snowboard, and then I put the seal on a block of ice. And so because the die just cuts out the seal or the penguin, I had to just partial die cut this so that I had hand cut all of my stuff and realized that, oh duh, I have dies for these. And so anyways, I partial die cut that, and I just have to trim out the base here then. Okay, there he is. All right, so cute little seal. All right, let's go ahead and make our cubes. Those are just our bases for them to stand on. And on my card, I did put some extra little color on it. I am not going to do that. I don't think it's absolutely necessary. And it really is a lot of extra work because they're tiny, tiny pieces. And I think that it will look just fine with these little stands just as they are. So I'm gluing just the little 1/2 inch piece. The rest of the blocks are 3/4, so you'll be able to see the difference. Okay, and 2 more. All right. All right, so 4 of those done. I am going to, let's see, since I am not going to cover these, I'm going to make sure that my joint is at the top, just so that you don't see that as much. So let me go ahead and stick those how I want them. And I made them stand, my screen keeps going. So I made them stand sort of towards you because this is how it would stand if you were looking at it. So I wanted both of them to be looking towards the person that was looking at it. And so he's going to go there, and then he's going to go here. Whoops, that's not right. So the opening to the back and the top. All right, so that's the basic way this thing works. I will go ahead and I'm just going to tack these on here for now because, like I said, I do want to color them. I'm just going to put one little thing of, let's see, this one goes over here. And, I put the bunny in there instead of the raccoon, but that's okay. He can go down here. He still has a spot. He doesn't have to feel slighted or anything. So he'll go down here. And then I had on mine, I had one snowball on there. However, I thought maybe it would be fun to build a snow fort and maybe, like, I don't know, stick a couple snowballs together. But for right now, I'm going to stick one on there just so that you can see. And I don't have it colored, so. All right. And then for my tree, oh, I forgot those pieces too. You know what? I'm just going to tell you how to do those. And I'm going to use these pieces right here because I have them and I can do them. Let's see, I need a folded piece and a folded piece. And I will give you, I want one that's not glued. I will give you my measurements. So for this, what I did for the pop-up mechanism, they were 3/4 of an inch, same width as these, by 1 inch. And then I scored them at 1/2 of an inch, which this is about that. And then these go on, you put 2 of them together like this, and they go on the edge like this. So they're going to glue against here. I'm going to go ahead and lay this flat so I can show you. I can go ahead and stick this one on a while. So I did use green glue for this, and then I just held it in place for a few seconds. So let me just show you again. So I have the folds, the folded edges together like this. These 2 pieces here are loose. They're not glued, they are loose. And these 2 are going to go right over that fold. They're going to go right next to each other. And I'm going to just hold them in place for a second so that they stay there. And then what you do is you fold this piece down, and then you glue your item on that, which would be my Merry Christmas. So that's going to go right on there. So I'm going to just go ahead and place 2 glue dots on there because my piece is so small and I don't want to get a ton of glue on there. So I'm going to go ahead and put a glue dot there and one here. Okay. And now I can stick my Merry Christmas. Let me just flatten that out and put my Merry Christmas there. Notice how now I can turn it, okay? It can stay flat or it can turn. And sometimes you have to sort of fluff it and make it stand where you want it to stand. And you're going to do the same thing with the tree down here. I won't do that because I do have to color that one as well. Okay, so let me just tack these little guys down. I'm going to go ahead and use green glue for this because I want to make sure that I have it positioned where I want it before. Actually, what I did when I put them in was I folded this flat because here's the thing. You have to make sure, let me just lift this up so I can show you. You have to make sure that it's away from this fold back here when it's laying down because to fold the card, it has to lay flat. So I did put it down like that so that I could make sure that it was going to lay flat. And then I can stand it up once it's glued. Okay, so once again, let me show you again. You're just gluing the bottom box. So just on the bottom. And then sort of figure out how it will look standing. And then lay it flat. And just hold it in place for a second. And then you can stand it up. Okay? So I would like to have some comments. When you first saw this project, did you think that it looked this easy? And that's not where I wanted him, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm going to pop these off and color them later, so I'll just move them around. I wanted the snowball on the bottom, not on the top. So that one's going to go there. All right, and then, oh, my penguin goes here, and I totally forgot to cut him out. So sorry, Mr. Penguin. Hopefully he and you will forgive me for that. But I'm going to go ahead and put my little box here. I know he's pretty tall, so I'm going to make sure that I'm staying towards the front here because he's got a big scarf. He has a scarf that sticks up really high. So I need to make sure he has plenty of space back there. There we go. All right. Last but not least, let me fold these down. So like I said, let me push him down. I usually fold this flat and then I fold each of these flat. as I close it. So fold them flat and fold that flat. And then to make your belly band, I wanted it to meet on the side here. Well, you can meet it anywhere you want, but you just start it like this and just wrap it around. I'll put this one in the center just for fun. Just wrap it around, and boy, it doesn't have much lapped over, okay? But you don't want it too tight because you want to be able to slide it off. And I think I made this 11 inches long. Of course, this is 12 inches long. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use a little green glue because I just want a hair on the edge there. And I'll show you why I'm not too worried about getting a lot of glue on there, because I'm not necessarily using the glue as the holding point. And then I'm going to go ahead and just tuck a little green glue on there. And then I will start that around the same spot. I didn't glue it down on mine, but it does tend to slide a little bit. So this little strip I'm saying. And this you might want to trim off a little bit so that it doesn't stick out past your little greeting there. So I am going to snip off just a tad of that. All right, I'm gathering a lot of scraps here. Okay, now I do want to make sure that this is still movable, that I didn't glue anything down. Okay, we're good. All right, and next I'm going to put, so this front piece I made with, let me just go back. So I used Freeze and Fun. I used these cute little creatures for all of the parts on the card that I made. And I used almost everything in this kit. And it has, of course, like I said, the dies that go with it. And then for the front, I've been wanting to use this more. I just love these little die cuts in here. So I used this. I used the little cup and filled and colored it. So it's 2 stamps to that cup, or the mug, I should say. And then there's a die cut for the mug. And then I used this piece for the white part and then this piece for the green part. And it has a little stitching around it. It's really cute. All right, so so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place some dimensionals. And I want to use the bigger dimensionals. I have some of those back here. But I want them to be on here. So I'm going to put one on either side of where my adhesive is, or my edges are. And he's going to be off center just a tad. Maybe I want to make that just a little bit more. Let me scoot this over here. If you make it off center, you have to make it look like you intended for it to be off center, not like it was a mistake. So we'll try to make it look like it wasn't a mistake. All right. And then I just put adhesive on this one. And then you do want to make sure that you get it so that it's the words are in the correct place. And then let me stick a little dimensional on my mug. And it's not coffee, by the way, because I don't like coffee. It's probably hot cocoa. All right. There we go. That's the belly band part, and that will just slide on and off. And I think, guys, I think that's it. Did I really oh, it did take about 45 minutes. Okay. I assumed that it would. So don't forget, when you open this, you have to fluff it. And if you're sending it to somebody, you might want to say, hey, there's a little pull up in there. You'll have to pop up your little guys, and then you can sit it on your desk and enjoy. I just think it's going to be a fabulous card to send somebody. I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are enjoying. I hope that maybe you'll want to try one of these. Like I said, I will post all of my dimensionals and pictures and everything on my blog. I will try to get that done by the end of this week. That would be October the 16th or 17th, something like that. And it is stampthelove.blogspot.com. And let me go to this screen. I think the screen has my, yeah, up at the top here, stampthelove.blogspot.com. That's where you can find the tutorial for this and all of the pictures. All right, well, thank you, ladies, for joining me. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to share with your friends if you think they might enjoy this project. That will help me out tremendously. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel and make sure that you have liked my Facebook page if you're finding me on Facebook. So I appreciate that, and I hope that hope you have lots of fun and lots of fun crafting. All right, take care. Have a great day. God bless.